the NFC is not as balanced. And according to Parlay Market, we're going to do the same thing for the NFC, is that in the NFC, the Rams are number 1 at 28%.
Shouldn't change.
The Seahawks are number 2 at 24.6%.
As they should be.
They're the only two teams in the NFC with a 20% chance or better to make it out of the NFC. The Eagles are at 15%. The Bears are at 10.1%. The 49ers, and this could change with their win, they're at 10% currently. The Packers are at 9%.
Whoa.
The Tampa Bay Bucks are at 2%, and Carolina is at 1%.
So what the hell? So the guys that are in first place in division currently have a less percentage than the team that's in second. Disrespectful, Parlay Market. I'm keeping track. However,
they think that Tampa Bay will still find a way to win the division. That's what they're saying.
Tampa Bay is still favored to win the division because the Panthers, they have a tough matchup this week. I forgot who it is.
Seahawks. Yeah.
But
they're going to lose.
Number 1 should be the Rams. I do still believe that the Rams are the best team in football.
Yeah.
They're great on all fronts, everything. Emmanuel Forbes has been such an amazing addition. The Rams are number 1. Now, Seattle should be 2. But I can't put Seattle number 2 for personal reasons. Personal reasons that I probably should share because this is a podcast and that's what we do.
We do that.
But after this week's performance, I am going to hold back 1 week of saying I don't trust Sam Darnold in the big moment because this is the first time in years we've seen him in the big moment and he shined. Credit where it's due.
Yeah, just ignore that he's top 5 in game-winning drives since 2024. Just ignore his Rose Bowl performance at USC. Just
college.
Ignore
That's
what he did in
USC
in overtime.
The college shit always loses.
Just ignore the adversity that he's dealt with in his NFL career to become a starting caliber franchise top 10 quarterback.
He was given a stimulus package against the Rams, but I'll give it to him. He came back and he clutched up. Great throw to Cup. Great throw to win the game. Now, number 2, I'm going Philadelphia. I think the Eagles, where their rush defense hasn't been as strong, Jalen Carter's been banged up these last 2 weeks. I do think that Jordan. Oh no!
Get it.
He got it back. They got it back. I do believe that Jordan Davis has been having one of the best years. He has been having the best year of his career. He's been excellent. This defense, secondary wise, Quinyon Mitchell is one of the best corners in the game. Cooper DeJean, one of the better complementary corners in the game as well. This is still a great defense, complemented by a rush offense that is nowhere near as dominant as it was last year. But Saquon very quietly these last few weeks has been getting things going. This performance versus the Commanders, a lot of his success was because he's simply an amazing player. And a lot of conversations have been going around Saquon Barkley like he's just not the same player. It's nonsense. The offensive line's not the same. And he's still being met by contact well before the line of gain, and he's been being able to still overcome and have success. Very quietly this past week, it is the Commanders, but the pass offense was able to be successful. We're utilizing A.J. Brown in different facets. Dallas Goedert continues to be effective. I do believe that this is still a top 2 team in the conference. Number 3, the disrespect stops at a certain point. The Seattle Seahawks are still one of the premier defense in the league. Mm-hmm. Now, Nick Emenwari again banged up stings. They're going to have a game suspension by their linebacker that I'm blanking on his name off the top of my noggin. Maybe if you guys help me out, it'd be great. But it shouldn't change how you finish the end of the season. The Seattle Seahawks still are a great defense, one of the best defenses in the league. And their offense has been great. It does not matter who's covering week to week. This guy, JSN, is going to get his. Kenneth Walker was great in the run game against one of the premier rush defense in the league as well. Ken Walker finally has his breakout game. Seattle's number 3 for me. Number 4, I'll go Chicago. I think Chicago's done enough where defensively I still do not trust them. But their offense has a certain floor that any given week they can go out there and they can go ahead, and when you need it, they can go out there and execute and win a ball game. The defense is timely. Number 1, more than anything, that has been their saving grace time and time again. So because they are timely, because they do have a run game where they can run down the clock and they can abuse that facet of the game, I will give them that acknowledgement. I will put them at number 4. Number 5, it's tough because my heart wants to respect the Niners, but because they're so banged up, I can't find myself able to do it. But I think I kind of have to, Because when you look at the Niners, their offense can go up against any defense in that division and they can put up points. It's a division game versus Seattle. They can win that game. Division game versus the Rams. They showed earlier this season they can beat the Rams, and that was without Brock Purdy. I just think they have too many injuries to overcome, which is why I can't put them as a team higher than this. So I'll put them at number 5. Number 6, I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. I do think the Green Bay Packers, just because they're so banged up, that they don't unfortunately stack up with these other teams. But number 7, I know we have to pick a team from the NFC South. I wish I couldn't because I'd put the Lions here. But I will go the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are obviously the weakest link here.
The NFC South is whoever is going to be the Bucks or Panthers are at 7. It doesn't really matter who it is. They're at 7. The Rams are 1. I think they're the most talented team in the conference. The Seahawks are 2. They are the most complete team in the conference. They have all 3 phases. The Rams have really good defense, an elite offense, but they have a poor special teams. The Seahawks have an elite defense, a really good offense, and they have a great special teams unit, especially with Rashid Shaheed being added. And you saw the difference he made against the Rams as a punt returner.
Rams fired the special teams coach, though.
Yep. So that could maybe reignite what's going on, and that could make them better. And they need it. And it was a move that was 100% necessary and justified. Number 3, I'm betting on the Eagles' talent and Jalen Carter coming back. This is more so me buying their defense than buying their offense, though. The Eagles, they scored 15 points against Chicago. I know that
it's not gonna happen again, bro. Trust.
I know that the Eagles are on a hot stretch right now when they're playing well, but it's been against the Commanders, who are the worst defense in the league, and the Raiders, who are one of the worst defenses in the league. But 2 defenses that are completely awful. You tell me that you have a really gifted defensive coordinator. You have Mike McDonald game planning for this Eagles defense, that they're going to score more than 15 points. I have a tough time seeing that. Like, I think the Eagles offense, when they go up against a really good, well-coached defensive unit, they're going to struggle like they've struggled all season long. Number 4, I have the Packers. I mean, I think even with the injuries, they stack up with almost anybody. I think Jeff Hafley is one of the brightest defense coordinators who called an excellent game against the Bears and Caleb Williams. Up until the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, Caleb Williams had 147 passing yards on a day. The Bears offense got shut down. The run game got shut down. And then the onside kick happened and everything went to shit. But the Packers, without Micah, showed that they could be a top 10 defense last year. And the offense, as long as Jordan Love and Christian Watson are healthy, they're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with anybody.
I don't disagree.
The Bears are at 5. I think they're going to probably win the division, but I still think the Packers are a better team. The 6 are the 49ers. I just think the 49ers defense is awful. I mean, Phillip Rivers at 45 is torching them.
You have to do that. He's a legend.
He is a legend, but he's torching them. I mean, the reason why the 49ers are going to win by 2 scores is because of a kick return that was fumbled. I mean, it was a fumble on a kickoff. That's really why. But they are going toe-to-toe with the Colts. And I know so did the Seattle Seahawks. But at least that was a slugfest. Like, this has been a shootout. And you're telling me I got to trust San Francisco to score 30-plus points on an elite defense and also stop an opposing offense? I have a tough time believing that.
Yeah, I mean, my list is very similar. I think you have a very clear top 2 in the NFC. You have the Rams at number 1, even though they choked the game against Seattle, and Seattle being number 2. I understand the questions around Sam Darnold. You know, the questions, can he come through in the big game? Can he have a clutch time moment? I just think that's how it is for any quarterback who hasn't done it yet, right? We had the same questions about Jalen Hurts. People have those questions about Lamar Jackson. People have questions about Brock Purdy. Until you do it, you can't do it. And then once you do it, you did it, and there's no more questions. So you hate to see that. I just lost. For Sam Darnold, you know, it's really just being able to overcome that big moment. So the fact that he was able to do it Thursday Night Football, prime time, is a step in the right direction for him. But of course, doing the playoffs is way different, especially the season you're coming off of last year, where things just completely unraveled down the stretch in the regular season and then eventually in the playoffs. So they're the top 2 for me. Then for me, it's like a 3A, 3B. I think the Eagles and the Packers are really neck and neck. If you believe what the Eagles offense has shown in the last couple of weeks, or I guess really just the Raiders game, because even the Commanders game was a little iffy here and there. You can see some real upside there, because I do think the defense is talented. I do think they have one of the best defensive minds in Vic Fangio. But offensively, it's still a bit of a question mark. Saquon hasn't been able to get it going more recently these last few weeks. They have been doing more under center stuff, which is promising at the very minimum. But I'm also taking a full season's worth of data, and the data says that this team just isn't that good. You know, at least offensively, it's an offense that you can't trust. And although they have all the talent in the world, and we've seen them do it before in the big moments, I have a hard time, like you said, Joel, going up against Mike McDonald. You can be able to move the ball. You're going up against the Rams. I know you beat them earlier in this year. Can you do it again? The Packers, I think, would be a really tough opponent. That's why they're kind of 3A, 3B to me. So it's really close. If I had to choose one over the other, I think I would slightly lean Philadelphia just because they have the history against them, number one. And then, of course, Green Bay just being as banged up as they are. The top four, it's the top two to me are clear when it comes to the Rams and the Seahawks. The next two to me are clear when it comes to the Packers and Eagles. I know Bears fans are going to be pissed off because they're like, we just beat the Packers. Very fair. You know, you lost them a couple weeks prior. Both games came down to the wire. So I really do think these two teams are neck and neck. But they would be next to me. I think the Bears would be number 5 on my list. 49ers would be 6. Both of them have, I think, similar questions. You trust both offenses. I think you trust both coaching staffs. It's just defensively, neither team can really get stops. I think Chicago has shown more, which is why I would have them one spot higher. But I don't trust either of them. And then, the NFC South, Panthers or Bucks, I don't have much faith in at all.
So my list is pretty similar to yours. Number 1, I have the Rams. 2, I have the Seahawks. The Seahawks do have the number 1 seed right now, but the Rams playing the winner of the NFC South, to me, it kind of is a shoe-in win in my book. Number 3 are the Eagles. 4 are the Bears. 5 are the Packers, slightly behind them. 6 Niners and 7 Panthers. And to me, the Rams moving to the wild card spot doesn't concern me a whole lot, given the fact that they're playing the NFC South winner. 3 are the Eagles, 4 Bears, 5 Packers, 6 Niners, and 7 the Panthers.
It's fair because when they went on their Super Bowl run, they were on the road until they went to, well, that's not true. They played a home game against the Cardinals, but on the road in Tampa Bay, on the road in San Fran. And then they got a home game, ironically, in the Super Bowl because they were having it in SoFi. But they showed they can win on the road. They went into Philly, and they gave Philly their toughest matchup of their postseason. So you still should have nothing but faith in the Rams to be successful if they happen to be the wild card team.
The Seahawks are the first seed in the NFC, and the Rams, like you mentioned, John, they're probably going to face the Panthers or the Buccaneers first round.
Yeah.
I think they're going to be heavily favored. And then if they win that matchup, they're going to face Seattle for the 3rd time this year. And I feel like there are 2 matchups in the NFC that we might get for the 3rd time this year. That's Green Bay versus Chicago, and that's the Rams versus the Seahawks. And both of those matchups have been exceptional all year long. So I would really look forward to seeing that happen in the playoffs as well.